Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Brown, and this is Defense Choice. Today, we're going to talk about home invasions. Several years ago, I was the victim of a home invasion. I was sleeping and woke up about 30 minutes earlier than I normally would have, and there was a strange knock on my door. Right away, I knew something was wrong because at that time, and just like now, no one just shows up at my home unannounced. I immediately went and retrieved my handgun and grabbed the phone and dialed 911 because I saw the person jump over the rail at my patio door and try to open that door. They failed at opening that door and left and tried the kitchen window, and then eventually went and tried the bedroom window where I had been sleeping just a few minutes earlier. I was living in an apartment, and that had basic locks on the windows, just standard locks like most apartments do. And the male subject was able to open that window without making a sound. And I know he didn't make any noise because I was only standing maybe 8 to 10 feet away when he opened the window, and I didn't hear anything. The only way that I knew the window was open was that I heard the outside sounds. The 911 operator was asking me if I could leave my home. I thought that was kind of a ridiculous thing for 911 to say, but I guess in certain situations that might be applicable. But in this situation, in order for me to leave out, I was living in an apartment, and if I had left out of the apartment, I would have passed right past the person who was actually trying to enter. I saw that that was not a wise thing to do, so I didn't do it. At that point, a lot of things were racing through my mind. What should I do next? Should I wait for the police and hope for the best? Should I hide and hope that they won't advance inside my apartment and find me? Or should I confront the threat and stop them before they can get any further? I chose to go with the option to confront the threat instead of waiting for them to come looking for me. So I raised my gun up to about eye level, stepped around the corner and pointed the gun right at the center of his chest and yelled for him to show me his hands. He dropped my items that he had in his hands and started to yell, begging for me not to shoot him. He saw that I had the phone in my hand and figured I was talking to 911. He was being reluctant and hesitant to follow my commands because I was yelling for him to get on the floor. And at one point, he was contemplating actually rushing me because I could tell from his body language and his eyes. He looked down and lowered his head and sort of leaned in like he was going to step forward towards me, and I yelled for him not to do it and warned him that I would shoot him. He got on the floor, and while he was on the floor, 911 was talking to me and distracting me, so I actually threw the phone in the chair. I left the line open so that they could hear what was going on and keep the recording going. And I continued to yell commands for him to stop moving and keep his hands out, but he wouldn't. Eventually, he jumped up off the floor and turned his back towards the window and started to dive backwards out of the window. And I ran across the room and actually grabbed him with the hand that I was holding the phone in as I was holding the gun back to keep him from being able to grab the gun. We got into a brief struggle, and at that point, a car drove up, and it turns out, I'm pretty sure it was his getaway car because the driver made eye contact with me and sat there just briefly and then threw the car in reverse and left. At that point, the young man pushed away and fell out of the window and got away. I know some people are going to ask the question, well, why didn't you just shoot him? Well, I could not shoot him because he was not armed, not visibly armed, and he wasn't a physical threat to me. As a matter of fact, he was begging for me not to shoot him while I was talking to 911. The only thing I could do is what I did. Unfortunately, he got away. And when the police arrived, they searched the area for him and didn't find the guy. So in that situation, there was not much else I could have done. Looking back on that situation, I made a serious error in judgment. I should not have run across the room and grabbed him and got into a struggle with him. I should have maintained my distance and stayed closer to my bedroom door just in case someone else was outside, or just in case someone started shooting. So let's talk about some things that you can do to make apartment living a little more safe. Go out at night and make sure that all the lighting around your apartment is working, and immediately report anything that's not. You can also purchase little gadgets like motion sensitive lights that you can plug into wall outlets that'll light up a room in case somebody walks past it. They have door stops that are alarms. If someone pushes on a door, and it'll set off an audible alarm that warns you locally. You can buy various little recording gadgets like clocks and teddy bears that have hidden cameras in them, and place them around your apartment to record anyone in case someone does get into your unit. One thing I want to caution you against is installing things that are going to be screwed or nailed down or screwed or nailed into the walls. Just make sure you check with management before you do something like that, because most of the time they won't approve anything that'll be destructive towards their unit. Make sure you check with them to see if they've changed your locks before you moved in. If they haven't, whatever you do, request that they change them, because a previous tenant could still have a key. Things are different, however, if you live in a house, in your own home. Some things that you can do to help prevent a home invasion would include planting shrubs that have stickers on them underneath your windows. You can install additional lighting. You can install a surveillance system, cameras, and an alarm system. You can install bars on your windows. You can install security doors on your exterior doors. Things you can do inside your home are make sure that you have good locks on your bedrooms. Make sure that you put additional locking devices on your bedroom doors. Make sure that you have motion activated lighting that can be plugged into wall outlets or in the form of something that's on tables throughout your house to help light up the place and alert you and possibly scare the burglar off or the home invader off. Some additional things that you can do to ensure your safety are to establish a safe room inside your home, install a security door, and put additional locks on that room. Make sure that your family members know what to do during an emergency. Designate someone who will call 911. Designate an alternate person who will call 911 in case something happens to the primary person. Take some classes and practice with your family what to do during a home invasion. Believe it or not, criminals practice their craft. Several years ago, some home invaders or would-be home invaders were caught practicing a home invasion in a parking lot. So practice with your family members. Make sure that they stay safe. If you like the content of this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Defense Choice educational moments. Thanks for watching.